Alright, Taurus, it's your reading for the month of December. Hope you all are doing well. Alright. Alright, Taurus, in my opinion, I feel like a Taurus have gone through a lot of transformation. I feel like a lot of them really want to venture out on their own, whether they're in a relationship, in some way take the reins of their lives. But that's briefly what I'm observing. Alright, so coming in, Taurus, you have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and you have the Three of Pentacles. So I feel like this is your independence. Some of you could be feeling left out in the cold, maybe in a lack, maybe wanting something more than what you are seeing currently in your life, not working together with people. I feel like for the most part, like some of you do need to work together with people, or you're trying to work with people, but I feel like ultimately there is an imbalance when it comes to dynamics, when it comes to giving and receiving, whether it's in a work department, finances, or relationship. I just feel like a lot of you are struggling with that when it comes to, either finding people to work with, or when it comes to working with others, it becomes very difficult because you and yourself, I feel like you're capable of doing things, but I feel like currently some of you need to pull together with people, and I feel like there's a conflict because other people aren't really seeing things the way you want to, and it's causing a division. I feel like the relationships have been really conflicting for some of you, and I feel like right now, when it's focusing on working with people, do the best you can, but I think long term it could be depleting you in some way, you're not willing to compromise, and I feel like that's not a problem, but it can be when you're dealing with other people's and giving to the situation. And maybe sit back and observe many situations when it comes to relationships where you don't feel comfortable giving your resources to people anymore. You want to be treated right in such a respectful way, but it just seems like here lately that a lot of people aren't giving you what you really need in a situation. And now you have the four of cups in reverse, and the Eight of Cups. So I feel like if you are in a bad relationship or considering leaving, I feel like this is you taking a moment for yourself to really look at things and look at what are you willing to salvage. And I feel like a lot of you have been contemplating about leaving a situation or leading, a third party situation, and I feel like it's giving you disappointment. And you're tired of being disappointed. You're tired of giving more than what you really should be giving in a situation. But I feel like a lot of you, take it as it resonates. It may not resonate with all of you, but you've been doing a lot of things on your own or for some time. And recently, for some months or now, you've experienced where you're getting the help you need, but at the same time it's conflicting with you, like your people are starting to take more from you. And I feel like you have to be very careful with people, because I feel like a lot of people are trying to take from you, and it's bringing this sense of disappointment in a situation, whether it be work situations, whether it be relationship. And I feel like, you have contemplated, some of you, about leaving a situation. It's about, are you willing to sacrifice more than what you're giving, or you're not being received the same amount? Like, I feel like a lot of you worked on yourself. A lot of you've been through, maybe third party situations with people, and they took more from you or betrayed you, or maybe in some way you felt like nobody was really seeing you through and seeing the value of who you really are. And so that's why a lot of you've been closed off, because you've been in these kind of situations where you've given to a situation, but at the same time, people weren't respectful of you. They were draining you. They were draining your resources. They were draining, your creativity. And so it's about getting real with yourself and accepting, if it is a relationship, if it's not working out, if it's taking more from you and it's giving you more disappointments in the long term, or it could be a job situation. It's about really coming to terms with what is the value of its holding. Like, can it remain salable? Can it continue to grow? And I feel like a lot of Taurus are at the point of just going on their own and figuring out things, whether, that's in separation of a third party situation or collectively gaining independence in a situation where they feel more solid within themselves. All right, so you have the Six of Cups in reverse and the Three of Cups. So it could be a third party situation. Take it as it resonates. Being unfulfilled in that. And I feel like a Taurus, whether it's a friend situation, whether it's a lover situation, being unfulfilled, being emotionally unavailable, or feeling like people aren't really available for you. And I feel like a lot of you recently, feel betrayed in some way, or feel like people aren't really understanding who you are, and walked away, or you walked away from a situation that was taking more of your emotional stability within the situation. And so you have the King of Cups and the Page of Cups. So this could be new love coming in. This could be old love that you're still reconsidering or thinking of, or just the inability to receive love at the moment because of what you've been through, the past hurt, the past struggles. It could be past situations of love that you're not fully open to or new because of this past situation. Let's see if we can get more for you. All right, Taurus. So more cards that came up is the Knight of Swords in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse, Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Judgment card, the Devil, and the Seven of Wands. Alright, so I feel like a lot of you have been really harsh with your words, whether it's things spoken out of fear or maybe considering things of a new beginning with a person or a past person. It could be an Aquarius you're dealing with or someone that has that placement in. I'm getting, and I feel like it's speaking your truth in a harsh way, and a lot of you've really had to, be stern and clearly what you want and what you don't want. I feel like that is an empowering thing for a Taurus to do. I just feel like it's conflicting with the other person that you're dealing with because it's coming across as harsh. But in some way you're being empowered by it. I feel like, speaking your truth, not giving 2 cents what the other person thinks. And therefore I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune Judgment, there's reconsideration of what you're going to do with a new beginning coming in. Because I feel like a new beginning is coming, maybe with this person, air sign possibly, or someone of that nature. Could be a Capricorn you're dealing with too. But I feel like there's a judgment call on a new beginning. Like maybe you're not ready to speak your truth on a situation because maybe in some way it could change the whole dynamic. So I feel like there's a judgment call to rethink about your future, rethink and consider, someone that you're dealing with, maybe you're not giving the whole facts about a situation. You're holding back, and I feel like, that's probably why this Devil energy is here in reverse. You want the freedom to go where you want to maneuver wherever you want to, and I feel like that's conflicting maybe with the future. Maybe with this Aquarius that you're dealing with, you're not wanting to not so much play the victim, but you're not willing to put up with it anymore. And I feel like maybe it's you or another person walking away from it, or there's a judgment call on how you want to take the future and how you want to take your next step. So you may not be talking about much of anything on where you want to go, but I feel like a lot of contemplation on what you want to do next, whether you want to, go out on your own, whether you want to literally feel the freedom once again, whether that's just taking out time for yourself and doing things that you love doing. And I feel like a lot of you, whether you're in or out of a relationship, you're kind of distanced with that. Like when it comes to love or love offers, I feel like you're just focus on your value, focus on what really makes you happy. Because for a long time, I feel like Taurus have been on this, path of self-discovery, a path of being empowered and dealing with relationship issues. Not that they don't care, it's just something is in lack here. Something isn't working when you're trying to maybe collab with different people and association with different people. Like, you're getting less than what you're really wanting. You're not feeling valued. You're not feeling heard. And I just feel like there has to be a decision here, whether it's to move forward on your own, whether in some way to find independence within the current relationship you're in. But I feel like ultimately, you know what you want. You ultimately, know your worth. And I feel like that's been the struggle point, is seeing your worth for what it is in situations and valuing the people in your life and giving them thanks for what they've done for you. But people that have taken more than for you, I feel like those people, like, you're really harsh towards those people who come across as know-it-alls and who thinks that they know best when you've given a lot. You've maybe expected this person to really pull together their resources or in some way help you when you didn't have the resources, but therefore they became cold and distant. Maybe something that happened in the past where they weren't there for you and you had to do it alone, which is fine. It's just when this person, maybe came towards you, maybe got out of a situation, they came towards you and maybe in some way they didn't help you the way that you expected. And maybe it's about trying to rebalance the situation with this other person where you can understand that your value needs to be priority. And if people aren't giving you that, especially friend situations, especially in love relationships, then it's not worth it to be hurt over and over and over again. So I think you've been going through a lot of things, Taurus, especially in relationships with this whole, for the next 7 years, Taurus and Uranus, especially anybody that has placements in Aquarius, which is connected to Uranus, is a big issue right now. But I just feel like your independence right now is probably the best thing you can have right now, especially when it's in Uranus and Aquarius. That's all about, humanity or humanitarian, you know, being valued. And I feel like for the most part, if you're not feeling valued in a situation, you need to get out of it in some way, rediscover yourself and claim your power again. So anyways, I hope that resonates with one of you out there. Bye bye.